Next up, we got DeSPA versus Team AFK, Air Force Con. And map order is going to be the same as our previous match. Jade, Aztec, Mist, Circuit Breaker's Destination. And the first matchup is going to be Abyssal versus Jello. So let's go ahead and get started. I believe it's going to be a TVZ. Which is exciting. Oh, did I get everything reversed on the... I think I did. Oh, they're talking about rehosting the game. I'm missing all of this. Oh. I apologize, guys. My overlay is a bit clunky. And, okay, so go ahead and just get through this right now. I'm gonna put the 1 o'clock as blue. Okay, I think that should be good. Oh, the score. Something was a bold choice, apparently. But, okay, I think everything is working fine now. It's gonna be just fine. So builds. I believe Jello did go for a 12 hatchery. And he's following up with his pool before his 3rd hatch, which is pretty standard. And hasn't got his gas yet. Talking about playing some Dota. Abyssal, on the other hand, looks like he's going to do a 1-Rax expand, which is going to go up great against Jello's 12 hatch. I really can't stand Dota. As a totally off-topic, comment, sorry. I don't know. Like, it's sort of fun, but everyone's just hating. And it's like, even when you're not the person being hated on, it's like, dude, just like, okay, we get it. Like, he didn't do anything this game, but whatever. He's on your team, and it's too late now, and just like keep playing. I especially hate it when people complain because you can't concede. Like, you can't just give up or whatever. In Dota, you have to let them finish it. So they have to come in and actually like kill off your main building. And it's like, and then, you know, so the game drags on even longer sometimes. And then, you know, you get to spend even more time listening to somebody tell somebody else how terrible they are. Or somebody tell you how terrible you are according to them. It's not something I particularly enjoy doing. But maybe if I was better at it, maybe if I put more time into it, I might enjoy it. But back to StarCraft, we have a fast academy right after his gas, which is pretty normal. He doesn't have his bunker up just yet, but I guess he's feeling safe. I don't know if he got a scout into his opponent's base and didn't see anything. I was not paying close enough attention. For that, I apologize. But it looks like Jello here, he's going for a 3 hatchery build, presumably going to go Spire. He doesn't have his Zergling speed quite yet. Oh, actually, as I said, he is getting Zergling speed. So he has the potential to be fairly aggressive in the middle game, mid-game. And let's see where it goes from here. He's getting a very early sunken colony. He saw a somewhat high marine count from his opponent, but it really wasn't that high. And he was fairly certain that his opponent did expand as well, so I'm not sure why he's getting such an early sunken colony and Zergling speed. Maybe a bit redundant, but probably won't come to anything. He is not building very many Zerglings either, so his sunken colony is his main source of defense at the moment. Looks like Abyssal here, he's got his first medic out, building a second one as well. Stem about 75% of the way down, and going into a very quick factory. Interesting. So, could potentially see a very early push. Well, I'll have to just wait and find out here. Very early siege tank push. He could be going into Valkyries, I guess, off 2 racks. Definitely very interesting. At the moment now, though, he is moving out, and he's getting his comm sats on both of his command centers. And engineering bay in the background. He hasn't started his range just yet, which is a bit critical. I don't think he really has the gas to support his factory and his range and all that good stuff just yet, so it's a bit of a spot of bother for him. But it looks like Jello here, actually his SimCity is really coming into play against him here. His hatchery is a little bit further forward of his sunkens, and he feels the need that he has to build his sunkens even further forward now. So the sunken in the back is basically useless at this point. And Abyssal thinking he might want to go in, but all the sunken colonies finished now, and he definitely wants to pull back now, as he does lose 3 Marines, but not as bad as it could be. There were no Lings to really come in and just crunch that force and completely destroy it. So he does manage to preserve the 2 medics, which is very critical, and a couple of Marines as well. Spire now done for Jello, and looks like he's starting maybe 4 Mutalisks right now. So he's getting his Mutalisk count up, but it's not going to hit quite soon. And Abyssal now getting a fairly decent turret placement as well. His natural getting 3, and in his main he's got 2 and 1 sort of covering the barracks. Might need 1 more. Definitely a good window here for the Mutalisk to abuse, and they have this ramp for the Marines to funnel down as well, so it could be a very good location if he gets some Mutalisks in here. On the other hand, just getting his starport, he's getting early tanks, as you would expect from such an early factory, but he still doesn't have his natural gas, and this feels a little bit weird. He's getting his starport up as well. I don't think he's going to have gas to afford all of this stuff that he's trying to make. You know, siege tanks off 1 factory, and his starport looks like... Did he ever get his range? Man, I really hope he did. I wasn't paying attention. I would assume he did, but again, with which is how much gas he's been spending on other things, he might not quite have yet. And it looks like Jello, he's moving in to attack the Terran's natural with his Mutalisks. And in the meantime, Abyssal now moving out across the map with his Marines and his tank, and bringing on a couple of SCVs as well, so he has the potential to do a lot of damage here, but he's scared off by the 3 turrets. Now there's no Marine support, so these Mutalisks can come in, and if they've got enough, and just really take out those turrets and start doing damage to the SCVs. Jello, though, he did get wind of this Marine force moving out across the map, but he's being a little bit indecisive. Whereas Mutalisks right now, they are coming back to defend finally, and there are 3 sunkens here now at this point. I think the sunkens mostly are just delaying his opponent, and he's really going to want to work on whittling down the Terran Marine count before moving in, potentially with his Mutalisks. Now he's building some turrets. He's actually suiciding a bunch of units just to take out the tank, and that's not a terrible idea. Now his forces, his defense rather, should be fairly stalwart against this. And now what I would really like to see him do is move those Mutalisks out into the middle of the map and just really cover that the supply line. If another tank gets up here, this is a very well established position at this point. The medics can get in a nice little position, really choke off the Zerglings as they come in, and there's already 3 turrets, so it's going to be very difficult to Mutalisk harass this. On the other hand, Abyssal now, he's doing a pretty good job of not streaming his reinforcements too lightly across the map in small groups. This is a fairly decent sized force. Now against a committed Mutalist attack is really not enough Marines, and that looks like what Jello might be doing right now. He is coming in trying to focus down this tank, but there's a tank and it will soon be in range of his little containment now. Jello does manage to pick off a couple more Marines in the back, but one tank is here, so now again the clock is ticking for Jello and his main defenses, but oh no, he's losing a bunch of Zerglings as they do get drawn in, and actually a dropship. Now this is next level here by Abyssal. I really like this actually. He's got this dropship and he can start dropping some Marines into the main. In the meantime, Jello here, he's coming in with his Mutalist. I think he might be looking to suicide them again to take out the tank, but he's losing a lot of Mutalist. Oh man, his Mutalist force just completely disintegrates, and there's still a tank left as well. Now in the meantime, Jello here, he's taking this expansion in the bottom right. Sort of hidden, but that's basically to be expected here. It's pretty standard strategy. He's got his lurkers up, but he's just got one left at the moment. And this is looking really bad for Jello. But he might be able to get this tank. It's off by itself a little bit, but I don't think that Abyssal's going to mind too much. It depends on his macro in the back. Looks like he does have a lot of money. He could come in and break this, I think. No, he doesn't really have enough Marines. So in the background though here, let's see. He's got a Wraith. Interesting. I don't know what the heck that Wraith is, but he's got two Wraiths. Well, I guess there won't be much anti-air. I don't really know here. Looks like he loses all of his Marines to a committed attack of Zerglings and Hydras. These Hydras don't really have any upgrades, so they're going to be hurting here. As more reinforcements are streaming, and he really needs a good amount more Marines. He definitely has the money to throw down some more barracks, and he could really use them. As he is building yet another command center. Well, he's building his third command center. And this is looking really good for Abyssal. Now, of course, Jello just manages to waltz on out with that containment, because I think there's only missile turrets there left. But these Zerglings do run into a force of Marines. They damage the tanks and get one tank and damage another. So it's not terrible for him, but he's definitely in a spot of bother here. As now Jello moving in to attack. He really doesn't want to let Abyssal get this contain up and really reinforce it. But it looks like the tank might go down. It's losing a good bit of health, Jello here. He's going to lose the lurkers, though, before the tank can go down. And this is critical here. Now, again, I'd like to see him make a bit more use of this dropship, as now Jello going up to Hive. And Abyssal critically has not harassed this base at all. Now, it was pretty fairly open, so he definitely had the opportunity. But not quite taking advantage of it. Now, in the meantime, he's still got these two Wraiths. What the heck? Doesn't look like he's getting Cloak. So very interesting. Now this counterattack here coming in, but it's just 4 Zerglings. Now if he had brought those lurkers from his bottom right base, he might have been able to do some really good damage and potentially hurt Abyssal a bit more. But Abyssal just being very brave and strong like the Bear Spirit with these SCVs. It's not working out so well for him, but the intention is good, as it looks like Jello actually is at +1 carapace. Abyssal here, he's actually building vultures now, and I don't know if they have mines yet, but could be good for him. Looks like Abyssal here not really interested in going too many more Marines, as it looks like he's lifted his engineering bay, and looks like another set of Zerglings coming in for a counterattack here. He really needs those mines up. So Jello now, he's gotten this hidden expansion, sort of, at the bottom right, and Abyssal has not scattered at all, but at the same time, Abyssal now, he's got his third up, and I don't think Jello has any clue that it's there. So it could turn out very well for him now. Jello building a lot of Zerglings here, so he's basically still on 2 base economy and 2 base gas. I would like to see him get 4 drones and start getting that gas there at his third base. It is the most critical element for him now. He is getting a nice canal though, which will be very good for him. And looks like his Defiler Mound consume is maybe like 10% of the way done, so still going to be a while. Abyssal on the other hand, he's still got this dropship, and it's a bit weird. It's just very weird. He's not quite using it. But he does have the sick contain set up, and looks like Jello coming in here for a counterattack at the third, and there's only this one lone tank lifting the factory to try and let the tank escape, but it does get taken down, and Jello here is going to be able to do some damage to the economy of Abyssal, and definitely going to be able to halt mining here for just a little while. Looks like Abyssal now moving the factory. I don't quite know what's going on with that, but Jello, he's taking this his 4th base now, his hatchery, and regrowing his lurkers, it looks like. Oh, a Valkyrie, interesting. And there's like no air units for Jello here, so I'm not quite sure what that Valkyrie's going to accomplish, but she's there, hanging out. Another Valkyrie, actually. Interesting. He's really worried about some sort of mass Mutalisk switch from his opponent, as he's getting a ton of Goliaths now and still producing Valkyries. So, interesting. Let's see. Still no upgrades by Abyssal. This is really the one part of his gameplay that's lacking. And it looks like Jello here, he's finally got Swarm up. And moving in with a bunch of lurkers is going to break this contain finally. And now things are going to start to get hairy here for Abyssal. He's got to get his vultures. They've got mines. And he's just got to start laying them everywhere. Looks like he is sort of breaking down this bottom right-hand base. He really needs to get some mines up while he has the map control. He doesn't want to have to be placing mines on his side of the map. He wants to get at least a good layer over here. And looks like the dropship thinking about maybe picking up this medic and SCVs, but not committing to it just yet. Valkyrie still just hanging out. Looks like Abyssal here, he's going to be able to take down this hatchery down at the bottom right, but this Night Scout is up, so he shouldn't lose too much more than this. He actually might save the hatchery if he moves soon enough. Looks like a swarm going down on the ramp. If the siege tanks... No, they're not. They're not target firing out. Is he going to get it? Oh, he does get it. Okay, that's really good for Abyssal. And a bit of a disappointment for Jello. He had the opportunity there to maybe save it. Streaming in some more Zerglings. He's going to be able to clean up this force, I think, if he gets another swarm down and really pushes into it. But Abyssal, I think he's done the damage he wanted to, and if he can get even a couple of these units out and home safe, it's really going to pay off for itself. Abyssal, let's look at the supplies really fast. 80 supply versus 130. So Abyssal here, he's got a good supply lead. His tech, though, is a little bit behind as Irradiate just now starting, and actually, wow, he doesn't even have any science facilities. He's still building Valkyries, so he's really committed to this Valkyrie tech, and looks like the dropship's still just hanging out. But his opponent just... I hear a Valkyrie somewhere. There is that one here now. Oh, there they are. Looks like, okay, he's actually got 5 kills, 6 kills now, 7. He's getting some decent Overlord kills now, and Jello really taken by surprise by this mass Valkyrie move here. And if he continues to pick off more Overlords, he could keep Jello really supply blocked for a long time. As it looks like some Scourge are coming in. 2 Scourge will take out a Valkyrie. They do take out 1, but Jello losing a ton of Overlords. He is now at 76 of 45. It's going to take him a while to get all those Overlords back up. And in the meantime, he can't build any Scourge to harass the Valkyries and get him out of his base. So it's really not going well for him. But oh, looks like I missed completely. This is a counterattack by Jello. Taking out Abyssal's third. Looks like these Zerglings do have crack, and they're just fucking that command center up. So Abyssal now, he was in a good position, but losing that command center is pretty big, and this is the first step for Jello taking back this game for sure, as he does now look to reestablish his 4th base. Building a lot of Scourge down at this bottom right base. Are those Valkyries still alive? Yep. And now some more Scourge coming up as well. He now has a huge supply excess because he had to build so many, being concerned about losing them. And looks like actually, wow, dropship coming in, dropping 3 vultures. Now there's a ton of Zerglings here, and they easily pick these guys off. But he does manage to get the Defiler. 3 vultures for a Defiler is definitely cost effective. Looks like I think he did lose that dropship, though. That's unfortunate. Looks like Abyssal now managing to establish the contain again, but he doesn't have too many units here, and critically he doesn't have too many siege tanks. So a good swarm here will be able to ward off these Terran forces very easily, but looks like a big mine could go off. Nope, looks like the Zerglings take it out before it does. And trading Zerglings for tanks, never a bad thing. Trading Zerglings for a lot of stuff. Jello here able to clamp that force, but Abyssal now bringing up his reinforcements. If he had been a little bit more diligent and waited a little bit longer, he could have a really strong force at his opponent's natural right now. But as it is, it's very walking that knife's edge at the moment. And looks like here Jello, he's sacrificing some more Zerglings. He's got his Defilers in the back, but he hasn't consumed anything yet. Good swarm here. None of the tanks are sieged. And it looks like finally, oh, it looks like he's trying to actually move into his opponent's swarm, but it's not a good idea. Oh man. Losing a fair number of units there, and now these Zerglings are probably going to be able to clean up here. In the meantime, this third starting to be real established for Abyssal, but things not looking so good. He's basically Jello's traded a ton of Lings for a ton of Terran units, and Terran units, by and large, are very gas heavy, so Jello should be feeling fairly good about this. And oh, looks like he's coming in for another counterattack on this third base. What is there to defend? Looks like Abyssal. He doesn't really have any units to defend. He's not. His macro looks like it might be suffering a bit. And wow, Jello here, he's going to be able to ward off these forces. I think if he gets a couple more units down here, it could really seal the deal. What would especially be nice is a good force of lurkers and defilers. We've seen a definite lack of that in this game, and I would really like to see. He's definitely got the gas to really pump out a ton of lurkers and get some good swarm lurker action. Now, of course, siege tanks, they do damage under swarm, but once those lurkers burrow, it's going to be a really tough nut to crack. And in Abyssal's case here, his science vessel count is 1, finally. They're really late. He's had the science vessel tech for a really long time, but he was investing in those Valkyries, which did a good amount of damage. But now with such a low science vessel count and a very committed defiler lurker ling push, he could really do a lot of damage here and basically completely keep Abyssal off his third. But it looks like, oh wow, so okay, so the vultures try and move in, but they do pull back, and Jello being fairly on top of things, he just notices that on the mini map and throws down a swarm. So very good reactions here by Jello. One defiler is sort of wandering down, and I wonder if this is some sort of miscontrol or if he's on a mission. Might be trying to plague these units over here. So Jello, I think he's sitting pretty comfortably. He was fairly behind in the mid game, but he's definitely managed to pull it back now. And Abyssal, he's getting some vulture harass, thinking about doing some vulture harass, but it's not really going to come to anything, I don't think. And now, looks like Jello, he's actually getting his Hydra upgrade, so he's going to switch into a bit of a Hydra play here. And it looks like in the meantime, Jello on the bottom right, he's pushed back Abyssal's forces now, taking out some siege tanks. The vultures coming in, but they're not going to be able to do too much. There is 3 lurkers, it looks like, under the swarm. This one could be taken out. Nope! How the heck? There's like 1 pixel, 1 tiny little pixel of swarm on that lurker. I call shenanigans. But it looks like Abyssal, he's just going to run past with his vultures, and this is a very fun thing to do. It's just a great feeling as a Terran player when a Zerg swarms, and then you just like run right past it with your vultures, maybe take out a defiler or 2 in the back. And looks like Abyssal now, he's moving out with his main force too to come in as the swarm does wear off, and laying down some mines to cover the retreat and also to snipe off any reinforcements. He's getting some good damage done with these mines, very good mines, but the swarm does go down on the lurkers, and that's going to slow up the Terran push a bit. He does still only have this 1 science vessel. It's got 25 energy, so a good while before it gets another irradiate. And with the defiler already here in the nice canal, Jello should be able to defend this fairly easily. And Jello's now streaming a lot of forces down to this bottom right location. And I think he's definitely going to be able to take out Abyssal's small force here. And looks like Abyssal here, he's got a good number of units in his main, but not quite rallied out. And actually, whoa, battle cruisers! Oh snap! This is interesting. Battle cruisers, not really commonly seen, but it could be good, I guess. It depends. If he gets enough battle cruisers, he can start instantly just sniping down the Scourge. I think battle cruisers one-shot Scourge as it is. Don't quote me on that by any means. But with enough battle cruisers, you can really take down the Scourge, even though the Scourge should hypothetically be very cost-effective against the battle cruisers. But Jello might end the game before this. Before a single battle cruiser even gets out, he's moving in with a small Hydra force. Looks like these are going to get cleaned up at the moment, as he is not reinforcing this push. A science vessel just hanging out. He's got 1 kill. Might get another. And a very precarious position for him, though. He's definitely living dangerously, as Abyssal might be looking to take a hidden base up here at the top left. And he's mined out in his main, mined out in his natural now too, so he's basically working off 1 base. Jello, on the other hand, he's mined out his natural, almost mined out his main. There's not very many drones there, but he still does have his 2 bottom right bases, so he's feeling pretty good economy-wise. But he would definitely want to take these pretty soon. Both these bases fairly easy to take, and would definitely provide a good insurance to his economy. But looks like one battlecruiser now moving out. Now, where is that? How did he get battlecruisers with the? Am I missing something here? Where the heck is his physics lab? Did he lose it or something? I'm a little bit confused here. It looks like this SCV does scout out this hatchery, and Abyssal moving out to take it out. One battlecruiser. Can he win the game? This is the hero battlecruiser moment. Looks like science vessel irradiating 2 defilers. This is just random. I still want to find. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, he's not getting any upgrades at the moment. I assume he won't get Yamato until later. And this battlecruiser, he gets 9 kills before being taken out as a flock of Scourge just come over. And the Valkyries looks like they probably would have been able to save the battlecruiser. Maybe would have been very close, but they were nowhere near. And that's a bit unfortunate. These Valkyries, and then the battlecruisers die, man. Not cool. But Abyssal, he's got his 3rd base, mining again, holding that down pretty well. Looks like he's getting a dropship. He got 2 battlecruisers, excuse me. And now he's moving into dropships. It's definitely just a weird mix of units here he's going for. Jello, on the other hand, he's got a bit of a weird rally here. I'm not sure how long these units have been here, but he might have forgotten about them. Looks like he's getting a greater spire. Concerned about those battlecruisers, and maybe he's going to get some devourers of his own. And looks like he's trying to crush this force in the top left. I don't know if he wants to take these bases or if he's just concerned that Abyssal is taking the base. And it looks like they're going to close in with the siege tanks to now take it out. But it looks like the battlecruiser coming over to defend this base. There was one more Valkyrie, but I think it's died now. And a lot of Hydras coming in, but this battlecruiser, he's got a lot of HP. I think he might be able to escape, but he's definitely going to be a sitting duck to any Scourge forces. Here comes Scourge. No! Ah, he's dead. Kaboom. If only Minsk was on that, or Minsk. It's hard to say his name. It looks like a good drop here, though. Went down. And he gets maybe 5 or 6 drones, possibly more. I'm not quite sure. But Jello, he's not going to be too concerned about this. It's easy for him to drone right back up. Again, though, his bases here, he could definitely afford to expand again. And looks like he's moving out to the top left, just making sure that Abyssal hasn't taken any of those bases while he wasn't looking. And it looks like some mines just barely not catching those Zerglings. And Jello here moving in to take out this 3rd base of Abyssal. What is nearby? Looks like he's bringing back some vultures now to defend it. Definitely a very bonkers game. Is there more battlecruisers on the way? Not quite. Not quite. And looks like there's +1 attack for the ground units, the mech of Abyssal. But nothing else at the moment. Jello, on the other hand, he's working with 3 Carapace. And if we can find a Zergling... I don't know. There we go. There is 1 attack upgrade for the melee. And a greater spire done, but he's not quite doing anything with it yet. Not building any ultralisks either. He's definitely got the tech available. Looks like he's getting another melee attack upgrade. Moving in with this force of Hydras. Abyssal here. Excuse me, his tank's not quite in a good position to stop this Hydra force. And oh no, this tank is just... What the heck is this tank doing, man? Definitely didn't want to go down that path. And it looks like Jello, he's just moving in here with his Hydra. It's going to clean up this game, I think. As Abyssal doesn't have too much left. No siege tanks in the background either, though he is building another one. He's actually out of money completely. Abyssal GG's with a big grin on his face. Well played by both players. Definitely an interesting match to watch. As Abyssal, though, he does GG, but then kind of hangs out in the game for a bit. Don't know what happened there.